it on and off.
Okay,
Yep.
Danny, is this good? Friends, Romans, countrymen, lend me
Is
your
it good?
ears.
Mine is a little
Whoa.
bit louder.
Too loud.
Yeah, that's actually a good point, and I'm
We
already
come
loud,
here
so-
not to praise Caesar,
Perfect. Thank you, Danny.
but to bury him. The good that men do lives, the evil that men do lives after them. The good is often interred with their bones. So let it be with Caesar. Why I know that, I don't know.
You have all the wisdom. That's why.
I think I mean, obviously I had to memorize it for school, but somehow it stuck with me. Okay. I don't think I've ever worn this. Yeah. Gotta remember.
Yes. Like, is this good? Above the nostrils.
Like up there? Really? That's better?
It's okay.
It's in my eyeball. It's okay. Now, are you going to mute me or am I going to mute me?
Bowie Kala, Bowie Kala, Bowie Kala, Bowie Kala. Bowie Kala, Bowie Kala, Bowie Kala, Bowie Kala. Lecha dodi, likrat kala, peni Shabbat, bella. Bowie Kala, Bowie Kala, Bowie Kala, Bowie Kala. Bowie Kala, Bowie Kala, Bowie Kala, Bowie Kala. Lecha dodi, likrat kala, peni Shabbat, bella. Bowie Kala, Bowie Kala, Bowie Kala, Bowie Kala. Bowie Kala, Bowie Kala, Bowie Kala, Bowie Kala. Lecha dodi, likrat kala, peni Shabbat, bella. Bowie, Bowie, Bowie Kala, Bowie Kala, Bowie Kala, Bowie Kala, Bowie Kala. Bowie Kala, Bowie Kala, Bowie Kala, Bowie Kala. Lecha dodi, likrat kala, peni Shabbat. Bella. Bowie Kala, one more time. Bowie Kala, Bowie Kala, Bowie Kala, Bowie Kala. Bowie Kala, Bowie Kala, Bowie Kala, Bowie Kala. Bowie Kala, Bowie Kala.
So welcome everyone. Shabbat Shalom. So as you can tell, my name is Rachel Barrich. I'll be leading services along with Lauren Davis on this special Shabbat of Pesach and spring break. So we appreciate having those of you here in our sanctuary and those of you who are joining us online as well. Welcome. It's been a week. Hopefully you enjoyed your seders, however you chose to welcome in Pesach. And as we welcome in Shabbat, we're going to read on page 6. Hold on. Oh, no? Yes, we have a reading first. I love to kind of mess with you. We enter this sanctuary to welcome Shabbat. Within these walls, join with me if you will. We sit surrounded by numberless generations. Our ancestors built the synagogue as a visible sign of God's presence in their midst. Throughout our long history and our endless wanderings, it has endured a beacon of truth, love, and justice for all humanity. Its presence guided our ancestors to lives of righteousness, holding up to them a vision of their truest selves. Now we, in our turn, come into this sanctuary to affirm the sacredness of our lives. May we enter this place in peace. May holiness wrap around us as we cross its threshold. Weariness, doubt, the flaws within our human hearts, the harshness of the weak, let these drop away at the door. In the brightness of Shabbat, let peace settle upon us as we lift our hearts in prayer. And as we begin tonight, we welcome the fact that we are sitting together with Hine Matov.
Hine Matov u'manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine Matov u'manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine Matov, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine Matov, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine Matov u'manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine Matov u'manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine Matov, Hine Matov. Ya la 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 la. Hine Matov, Hine Matov. Ya la 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 la. Hine Matov u'manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine Matov u'manayim, shevet achim gam yachad.
Okay, so as we welcome Shabbat, we light our Shabbat candles as we bring in the holy day. I invite Lauren and Brittany Gilly to come up and light our candles for us. Welcome. Okay. Okay. We have a fun little gizmo. So turn this on. Okay. Press that button. Perfect. There we go.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher קידשנו במצוותיו וציוונו להדליק נר של Shabbat.
Thank you very much for welcoming in Shabbat for our community. So the first part of the service, Kabbalat Shabbat, welcomes in and sort of gets us prepared for our Shabbat. And I actually go back to the reading that we did on page 6. We enter the sanctuary to welcome Shabbat. We're in the middle of Pesach. This is the time to realize that the stories that we told at our Seders and what we'll talk about a little bit through the service, the sanctuary that they were talking about was the first sanctuary in the desert. So we are experiencing right now the idea of leaving Egypt and coming and creating that first sanctuary. So as we imagine we're sitting here tonight, imagine the Israelites so many years ago not even understanding what a sanctuary was, what a space to pray was. And suddenly they're at the mountain and God has given them all these instructions about how to build one. So I kind of find that interesting, the idea of a special place, a sacred place, where we can be together and celebrate our holidays. So first, the next place we're going to celebrate our holidays is going to be on page 20 with Lecha Dodi. What I like about Lecha Dodi, I always like to chat, what I like about Lecha Dodi is that the sanctuary that they're talking about here is not a physical structure. The idea of this song is that you would go out to the mountains, you would go out to the fields, wherever you were, and you were so excited to welcome Shabbat that you didn't wait for Shabbat to come inside. You would go out to the hills and watch and welcome Shabbat with sundown. So we're going to sing Lecha Dodi, a song about the relationship between God and the Jewish people as a bride and a groom.
Lecha Dodi, likrat kala, penei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi, likrat kala, penei Shabbat nekabela. Shamor וזכור בדיבור אחד, השמיענו אל המיוחד, אדוני אחד ושמו אחד, לשם ולתפארת ולתחילה. Lecha Dodi, לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. Lecha Dodi, לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לקראת שבת לכו ונלכה, כי היא מקור הברכה, מראש מקדם נסוכה, סוף מעשה במחווה תחילה. Lecha Dodi, לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. Lecha Dodi, לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה.
Verse 5.
התעוררי, התעוררי, כי באורך קומי אורי, 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 שיר דברי, כבוד אדוני עלייך נגלה. Lecha Dodi, לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. Lecha Dodi, לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה.
We now rise and face the doors as we welcome Shabbat.
ושלום עטרת בעלה, גם בשמחה ובצהלה, תוך אמוני עם סגולה. בואי כלה, בואי כלה. Lecha Dodi, לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. Lecha Dodi, לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה.
Wonderful. And now we begin the true evening service on page 28 with the Baruch Hu, the statement to God that we are ready to pray.
Ya la 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 la, 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 ya la 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 la. Am I awake? Am I prepared? Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Can you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared?
And Lauren will lead.
Barechu et Adonai HaMevorach.
Now we will respond.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam Va'en. Le'olam Va'en.
Join us.
Ya la 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 la, 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 ya la 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 la.
So now we come to probably the most favorite. If you know one line of Hebrew, you likely know this one, and that is the Shema. But there's a little trick to the Shema. How many prayers actually make up the Shema? It's a sandwich. There are 3 main prayers to the Shema. The first prayer, the Ahavat Olam, talks about the ways in which God loves us, the gifts that God has given us. The Shema is in the middle, and then there's the Ve'ahavta, which describes the ways in which we, the things that we do to show God that we love God. So it's kind of a sandwich. You have God loving us, you have us loving God, and in the middle is the statement of the singularity. It's like both things have to come together, and then in the middle there's this explosion of the singularity of which we are a part. It's kind of a great image. So we're going to sing the Ahavta after. I thought we would read on page 33 a poem, sort of an explanation of what it is that God gives us. So we're going to read at the bottom of 33. Wisdom and wonder, passion and instruction, story and symbol. All these things your Torah gives to us. And the more we devote ourselves to it, the more it grows and gives. What could be a truer token of your abiding love than this holiness of your works and the living language that gives it form? Baruch atah Adonai ohev amo Yisrael. Blessed is God who loves the people Israel. And now we sing together the Shema, which you can find on page 34-35.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto לעולם ועד. שמע ישראל אדוני אלוהינו, אדוני אחד. שמע ישראל אדוני אלוהינו, Adonai Echad.
You may be seated. So we're going to do the prayer on page 40, the Michamocha. Does anyone know where that comes from, those Hebrew lines? Oh, I forgot something first. We've got to do the V'ahavta. I did the first half, the first piece of bread, which we can't have this week, and I forgot the second piece of bread, which we also can't have this week. Let's do the V'ahavta. Excuse me.
V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol meodecha. V'hayu hadvarim ha'ele Asher Anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam b'shivtecha b'veitecha u'v'lechtecha b'derech u'v'shofbecha u'v'kumecha Ukshartam leot al yadecha, vehayu letotavot beineinecha, uchtavtam al mezuzot beitecha, uvisharecha. Leman tizkeru, va'asitem et kol mitzvotai, v'hitem kedoshim le'elohechem. Ani Adonai Elohechem, Asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim, lihiot lahem le'Elohim. Ani Adonai Elohechem.
Amen. So now we've completed the Shema. Thank you. And anyone who can chant that can chant Torah. So on high holidays, I may be calling you. Because those little marks that you see in the text, some of them are vowels and some of them are musical notes. It's kind of a teaser for a time when you choose to read Torah. But now we're going to go back to the Michamocha. Anyone know where the Michamocha is found? I'll give you a hint. It is in the Torah. Exodus, but not just anywhere in Exodus. Do you know what's happening when we sing this song? I'll give you a hint. I'll let you know. We have just crossed the Sea of Reeds. So this is the Passover story. This is the time. The Israelites were just let go. They've rushed out into the night. They have crossed the Sea of Reeds, and they are now on the other side. So I thought I would share a little poem that I found to kind of give us a little bit of intention, to let us understand and sort of feel what it might have been, what it might have felt like before they got to this point. It's called Miriam's Daughter. We are all the children of Miriam. She taught us how to dance over our freedom without stepping on the bodies of our would-be captors. She taught us to walk headlong into impossible waters, to lead the crowd through the narrow place with utter faith that it will hold long enough for us to get free. She taught us how to tie our sandals for a long, unknown journey. And most of all, she taught us, by doing more than telling, how to quietly pack tambourines in the terrifying dark of night when we barely have space to carry sufficient food, water, and blankets to last us through the miles ahead. She taught us that it's not enough to scrape by and survive. We must also be willing and prepared to dance with joy when liberation arrives. We must believe so deeply in our souls in the arrival of that time that we place those timbrels in our packs and pray. So now we have reached the other side of the sea. We are safe and we rejoice.
Yai lai lai la lai la 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 lai, yai lai lai la lai la 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 lai lai, yai lai la lai la la la, ya la la la, ya la 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 la. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha nedar b'kodesh, no ra tehilot osei fele, no ra tehilot osei fele. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 ya la 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 la. Malchutecha ra'u v'necha, bokei hayam lifnei Moshe
Miriam,
Ze'elianu ve'amru, Ze'elianu ve'amru, Adonai imloch le'olam va'ed, Adonai imloch le'olam va'ed. La 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 la, la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 ya la 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 la.
Baruch atah Adonai, Ga'al Yisrael. Praised are you, Adonai, for redeeming Israel. And now it is Shabbat. Darkness has actually come, and it is quiet time. I assume we know that there are going to be storms, or we believe the weatherman who say there are going to be storms tonight. So what we are hoping, and what we hope for each and every night, is that God will spread over us a Sukkot Shalom, a canopy of peace, and provide us with safety as we sleep, as we rest, and then good health and a good day the next morning. Hashkivenu on page 42.
Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leshalom, v'hamidenu shomreinu lechaim. Spread the shelter of your peace over us. Guide us with wisdom, compassion, and trust. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leshalom, v'hamidenu shomreinu lechaim. Save us for the sake of your name. Shield us from hatred, from sorrow and pain. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leshalom, v'hamidenu shomreinu lechaim. Lechaim.
So we hope that tomorrow morning that shelter of peace has protected us. So now on 44, the rabbis had lots of different ways in which they put the prayer book together. But one of the things that they include every single day is a prayer for the day. So Monday, Tuesday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. We don't tend to know those prayers because we don't do daily prayer. But the Shabbat prayers, the ones that tell us today is Shabbat, we always do at shul on page 44. But how many different songs are there on page 44? Two different songs, one for the evening and one for the morning. We do the evening one, Vishamru. But the reason that there are two is because there are two requirements for Shabbat. Shamor et HaShabbat and Zachor et HaShabbat. Shamor means to guard the Sabbath, and Zachor, which we say in the morning, Yismachu, it means to remember the Sabbath. So there are two different things on the Sabbath. There's things that you can't do if you're very traditional, like drive or turn on lights. But there's things that you are also required to do, like be joyous and happy. And so we remember both of those, one at night and one in the morning. And tonight we're going to do Vishamru, right?
Yes,
Everybody who knows how to twirl, gotta twirl.
At least Lauren does, I know that.
Veshamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל, בני ישראל, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי 6 ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת ויהי נפש, שבת ויהי נפש, שבת ויהי נפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. I think we put that in there to get the jiggies out, kind of the willies out. We've been sitting too long. We got to get up and move. Because now we come to the center of our prayer service, the tefillah. It is the part of every prayer service, daily and on Shabbat. Daily there are 18 different prayers. On Shabbat there are only 7 because you take away the request ones. Even God gets a break from all those requests on Shabbat. So we begin on 46. It is our custom to sing as one kind of song, 46, 48, and 50, all together as one song. And I want to highlight something for you because today is a very special day. I'm sure you don't know. Well, it's Passover. But on page 50, there's those little inserts in the prayer. So you see the start of the prayer, Atah Gibor li Olam Adonai, Michayeh Hakol Atav Rav L'Hoshia. And then there's 2 little inserts, one for winter and one for summer. They harken back to when we were an agricultural people, and they're talking about different, the first one, during the winter, it makes the rains come. We're praying for rain so that the crops will grow. And then in the summertime, Morid Hatal, we want just the dew, just to we don't want so much rain that it'll destroy the growing crops. Guess when you make the switch? Passover, Pesach, yes.
Perfect.
So we are moving from winter to spring or summer today. So Lauren will add the Morid Hatal in there to remind us that we have now moved sort of within the Jewish agricultural thinking to winter to summer, and we're hoping for just a little dew tonight, just a little dew. So we begin, please rise, and we will sing together on 46 and then moving forward.
Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi yagid tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu ve'Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, ve'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, ve'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomer Chasadim Tovim, Vekonei Hakol, Vezocher Hastei Avot V'Imahot, Umevi Gula Lifnei V'neihem, Leman Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshia U'Magen, Baruch Atah Adonai, Magen Avraham Ve'ezrat Sarah, Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechaye HaKol Atah Rav Le'Hoshia, Morid Hatal, Mechakel Chaim Bechesed, Mechaye HaKol Berachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim Verofech Cholim, Umatir Asurim, Umekayem Emunato, Lishenei Afar, Michamocha Baal Gevurot, Umidom Melach, Melech Memit, Umechaye, Umatzmiach Yeshua, V'ne'eman atah l'chayot hakol, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechaye HaKol.
You may be seated as we chant together on page 52, the Atah Kadosh. Yes? Or we say it. I'll just say it. Atah Kadosh, v'shimcha Kadosh, u'kadoshim b'chol yom yehalalucha selah. Baruch atah Adonai ha'el ha'kadosh. You are holy, your name is holy, and those who are holy praise you every day. Blessed are you, Adonai, the holy God. We now take a moment. We said that we don't ask for things on Shabbat, except for one very important thing, and that is we ask for prayers for healing. We're going to be singing on page 253, and this Shabbat we ask a special prayer of healing for Richard Barker, Jerry Barrett, Betty Berlin, Lynn Birmingham, Shelley Bitter, Jonathan Brooks, Raven Cheong, Ray Clark, Bruce Cohen, Doris Cohen, Isidore Cohen, Judy Crawford, Mary Davis, Steve Despens, Clark DeVoskin, Mitch Earl, Beth Enig, Alan Eisen, Aaron and Roz Feingold, James Florio, Kathleen Furch, Dr. Bruce Fox, Bobby Fredrickson, Lauren Friedman, Max Gans, Gloria Goldsmith, Tom Gorgone, Sally Greenstein, Rick Hack, George Campbell Hamilton, Jason Hankins, Braden Hink, Helene Holtzman, Rochelle Howell Denton, Blake Hull, Frank Ingargiolia, Laura Jacoby, Al Justin, Linda Jenkins, Shannon Jenkins, John Jenkins, Lila Kaminer, Jackie Capstein, Philip Kaufman, Marilyn Krasnov, Cindy Levine, Ainsley Levy, Marcia Levy, Dorothy London, Bob Luciano, Liz Lyman, Lisa Macklin, Roberto Maybisher, Clyde McCoy, Yarden Meir Ben Yitzchak, Arnold Mayer, Judy Miller, Randy Mitchell, Phyllis Mix, Lowell Morrow, Craig Mosher, Mark Newerman, Arthur Newman, Joyce Newman, Lacey Paget, Kathy Rasnick, Barry Rosenblatt, Norman Rosenblatt, Sherry Rosenblum, Patty Savage, Donald Schaefer, Brian Schneider, Eric Schuster, Lee Sexton, Nancy Shallett, Judith Siegel, Carter Silk, Carol Silver, Nicole Aronson Silverman, Bill Singer, Dee Singer, Debbie Singerman, Melissa Smith, Shane Wilkins. And if there's anyone else that you would like to include in this prayer for healing, we'll go around and you can just speak their name out loud. Thank you. And our prayers are joined together as we offer words of healing to those who are in our hearts and those whose names we've just called.
Mi sheberach avoteinu mekor habracha leimotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mi sheberach imotenu mekor habracha leavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
We hope we have wishes of healing for all of those who are in our hearts and who we've just named. As Rabbi Cernovitz reminds us, if you've prayed for somebody, please reach out to them as well and let them know that the community prayed for them tonight. We now take a few moments for our own silent meditations and our own private prayers. You may choose to go back to the Amidah to pages 54 to about 63, or you may choose to make up any words that you like. God is open to all, so take a few moments. Join us in the Oseh Shalom, which you can find on page 62.
Oseh Shalom Bimromav.
Do you know the motion?
Oseh Shalom Bimromav. Hu ya'aseh, hu ya'aseh, hu ya'aseh shalom. Hu ya'aseh, hu ya'aseh, hu ya'aseh shalom. Hu ya'aseh, hu ya'aseh, hu ya'aseh shalom. Aleinu.
Let me see if I get it. Do you know him?
May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. Oh, say shalom. Bimromav. Oh, say shalom. Bimromav.
thank you to Lauren Gilly for showing me the motions. Appreciate that. So you can put your prayer books away for a brief moment, I promise. Good evening and good Shabbos.
Good evening and good Shabbos.
I hope that each of you had a meaningful start to your Passover observance. I had the honor to host Seder for my family this year, joining with family, friends, and even 2 new guests invited through TKE's Passover Seder matching program. We included most of the traditional elements with the matzah, the maror, the bitter herb, the gefilte fish, and the songs. And it is the songs I want to focus on. At our Seder, we did Dayenu. How many of you did Dayenu at your Seders? So, yeah, pretty common. Had God only brought us out from Egypt, it would have been enough. Had God only given us Shabbat, it would have been enough. Had God only given us the Torah, it would have been enough. These are the most common 3 of 15 stanzas that outline the interventions or miracles that God made in the world so that we could achieve freedom. The song itself is very old, appearing in the first medieval Haggadah published in the 9th century as part of the Seder Rav Amram. And that lively tune that usually encourages a lot of clapping and table banging, it's over 1,000 years old. So clearly, this song has a purpose in the Seder well beyond the opportunity to just clap our hands. At our Seder, we also concluded with Chad Gadya. How many of you did Chad Gadya also at your Seder? Some less, some more than others. The Chad Gadya is an odd little song that comes at the very end about a father who purchases a goat for 2 zuzim. The song itself is in Aramaic, suggesting that the song dates to somewhere between 200 and 1200 CE. The earliest version of Chad Gadya included in a Seder dates from the Sefer Rokeach from the 13th century. The song itself is a bit disturbing. The father buys the goat, and then all these terrible things happen. The goat gets eaten by a cat, who gets eaten by a dog, who gets beaten by a stick, and so on, until eventually everything is destroyed. The song is sometimes interpreted as the history of the Jewish people. God buys the Israelites, and then all these other nations come and persecute the poor goat, or us, as this interpretation goes. But again, an upbeat tune and 4 cups of wine turn this song into a fun experience. In my home, complete with sound effects. So, what to make of these 2 songs? Dayenu. It clearly would not have been enough if God had stopped at just taking us out of Egypt. We would absolutely not have been content to be dropped at the sea with the Egyptians coming up behind and left there. No, each step on the journey, each intervention God made on our behalf, splitting the sea, providing the manna in the desert, bringing us into Israel, providing us with judges and kings, building a temple, each was necessary for us to become a Jewish people. So why do we say it was enough? And Chad Gadya, this is not a pleasant story. We are at a Seder celebrating our redemption and our freedom. Why is this song about persecution included at the closing of each Seder for almost 100 years? Rabbi Alden Salavoy teaches that the Jewish concept of freedom is not solely about escaping bondage. It's not a freedom from, it is a freedom to. We are liberated from slavery not merely for the pursuit of happiness, but for the pursuit of service to God and to doing better in the world. Freedom opens for us the opportunity to be in relationship with God, the opportunity to embrace Torah. At my family Seder, I brought up the "it would not have been enough" concept, and my son challenged me. Not an unusual occurrence. Why wouldn't we have been content, he asked. God had brought us to this point. Now we must take ourselves to the next one. Here I am, being stiff-necked and complaining, wanting everything handed to them, and he comes along and suggests that God made us this much free, and it is now in our hands to figure out how to be next level free. Not that it would have been enough, but that God provides enough that we can and should take it from there. And Chad Gadya, well, I found a quote from Elie Wiesel who explains as follows. This is the quote. And here we are, concluding the Seder with Chad Gadya, a beautiful song which is not just about a father who buys a goat for his child. It's a song about God's creatures destroying each other. It may be a puzzling way to end the joyous meal, but one that is fraught with meaning. The song of Chad Gadya reminds us that in Jewish history, all creatures, all animals, all events are connected. The goat and the cat and the fire and the water, the slaughterer and the redeemer, they are all part of the story. In Chad Gadya, as each character steps forward, they had a choice. In the song, they chose badly, acting to destroy. Such is too often the choice we see made in the history of the world. However, we are now also part of the story, and we can make a different choice. We are all part of the forces that bring us together and the forces that could pull us apart. The decision, therefore, put before each of us at Passover is how are we going to use our freedom to? What role are we going to play in moving the story forward? We can say Dayenu, pretending to be content, but still expecting more from God or from others. We can say Chad Gadya and lament our history, or always feel that bad things are happening to us. Both are justifiable responses to thousands of years of Jewish history. But this Passover, perhaps more clearly than in years past, we are responsible for moving our story forward. This community, being mindful of our history and our experiences, has the freedom to make choices that impact us right now. We can lament, or we can open ourselves up to possibility. Passover will be done next week, but our journey surely is not. Dayenu, may we be fulfilled by seeing ourselves as part of our story. And Dayenu, may we be fulfilled by working together to forge the path forward. And may we find new meaning and new connections to God and community as we move from this Passover to the next. Shabbat Shalom. We continue our service with our concluding blessings, the first of which can be found on page 287, the Aleinu. And as I like to explain the Aleinu, it's kind of like a buffet. The redactors of this book, 282, I'm sorry, it starts on 282. The redactors of this book put together 4 multitudes of choices. I don't know how to do the math to tell you how many different ways you could do Aleinu here. We're going to do just one of them. So on page 282, we do the prayers at the bottom, which is the traditional opening prayer. And then we are going to skip to 287, which is the ending prayer. What is the Aleinu? The Aleinu is a statement about our faith that one day peace will come to all nations. It is our recognition at the end of this Shabbat service and as we move forward into the week that our hope, as it says, our hope is that one day God Adonai will be one and God's name will be one and the entire world will be celebrated in peace. So as we rise for the Aleinu, we begin at the bottom of 282 and then we'll go to 287.
Aleinu l'shabeach ladon hakol, latet gedula liotzer breshit, shelo asanu kigoye haratzot, velo samanu k'mishpachot ha'adama, shelo samchakenu kahem, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד.
You may be seated. On 293, our thoughts turn to those who have departed this earth, our own loved ones, those whom our friends and neighbors have lost, the martyrs of our people and those whose graves are unmarked, and those of every race and nation whose lives have been a blessing to humanity. As we remember them, we meditate on the meaning of love and loss, of life and death. At this season, our congregation is remembering the passing of, and if family members are present, we invite them to rise, the memory of Elaine Boehner, Daisy Brooks, William Karasik, Jerome Cohen, Betty Cohen, Samuel Cooper, Mitchell Fleet, Jack Glynn, Helen Goldberg, Hyman Goldstein, Judith Goodstein, Ruth Jacobs, Sarah Lerner, Bertram L. Pollock, Murray Sable, Fred Schiller, Nathan Siegerman, Margaret Schaefer, Seymour Sussman, Stanley Ullman, Irving Weinberg, and Bernhard Jaegerman. We also recall at this time those who have passed in recent months and days. We recall Don Lamberg, Stuart Devoskin, Mel Gordon, Mark Stiller, Howie Levner, Jack Sabar, Paul Graboff, Evelyn Hausman Morris, Evelyn Gross, Larry Bowman, Jack Mendel, Jonathan Koleski, Marshall Irvin, Charlene Jacoby, Barbara Wolin Kirschner, Stephanie Cooper Schulman, Francine Freelander, Arlene Moniek, Clyde Teasley, Emily Jane Edelstein, Jeffrey Bruce Seiben, Gordon Goldsmith, Hartley Stephen Spat, David Benowitz, Josh Yellen, Leon Rechtman, Robert Shaw, Roger Despins, Ilan David Masiri, Betty Besser, Marlene Kaplan, Edith Ekber, Jay Anthony, Marcia Kurtz, Bernice Bunny Meyer, and Melody Hudgens. And together as a community, we rise and we recite the Mourner's Kaddish together that you can find on page 294. Yitgadal v'yitgadash shemei Rabbah, B'yama dibara kirutei v'yamlich malkutei, B'chayechon u'v'yomechon u'v'chaye dechol Beit Yisrael, Ba'agala u'vizman kariv v'imru Amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevorach li'olam olmei olmaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitroman v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei dekudesha barichu. Le'elam min kol berchata v'shirata. Tushbechata v'nechemata. Da'amiran v'yalma v'imru Amen. Yehei shlomo Rabbah min Shemaya. V'chaim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru Amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav. Hu ya'aseh shalom. Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru Amen. Zichronam livracha, may all of their memories be for a blessing. You may be seated. Okay. So, we announced that today was April birthday and anniversary Shabbat. Do we have any April birthdays? No. Yes.
Yay!
Come
Happy
on
birthday.
down. Now, we usually give a little treat, but since this is Passover, we decided to give you an IOU. No. This is an IOU to a real Hershey bar and not a kosher for Passover Hershey bar. So, do you want to tell us who you are?
And when's your birthday?
And when's your
Everybody.
birthday?
I am Donna Binns, and my birthday is April 17. I didn't make
Oh,
it up.
soon.
Yeah.
That's so exciting.
Yeah.
Happy
Yeah.
early birthday.
Happy early
Thank you.
birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy-
Yeah, we can
to
sing
me.
happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, dear
Donna. Happy birthday to you.
And many more.
And many more. Excellent. And now, do we have any April anniversaries in the congregation tonight? People are just out celebrating Passover. They're just raucous times there on the beach eating matzah, right? Okay, a few announcements to those gathered here today. A Torah study is on Passover break. It will resume on Saturday, April 15th, so no Torah study in the morning. Don't be here at 9 a.m. because I will not be. TKE Yom HaShoah commemoration, so just as a backup, April, right after Pesach, there's two special holidays that were added in the modern era. The first is Yom HaShoah, the commemoration of the Holocaust, followed a week later by Yom HaAtzmaut, which is the celebration of Israeli Independence Day. So we will be celebrating both of those 1 week after the next. So our Yom HaShoah commemoration is on April 14th at 8:00 p.m. And then our Yom HaAtzmaut, our celebration of the 75th anniversary of the founding of the State of Israel, will be on Friday, April 21st at 7 p.m., with an optional Israeli-style dinner at 6 p.m. So go to the website if you would like to come to enjoy that wonderful dinner, and then a fun, family-friendly service to celebrate Israel. And I would be remiss if I did not mention that there is no place like home. So follow the yellow brick road to our Ruby Jubilee on Saturday, April 29th, to celebrate our 40 years together at TKE. This magical evening will knock your ruby slippers off. So hopefully most of you have your tickets already, or please go to kolemeth.net/Ruby Jubilee to get your tickets. I think that's enough.
Perfect.
What do you think?
I think
Okay, good. We hope everyone is, yes. We will have an oneg tonight. It is kosher for Passover, so don't raise your, don't have too high hopes, but hopefully you will enjoy it as we conclude with Kiddush and Motzi. And yes, it's kind of flat. Oh, first we
okay.
got to do Kiddush, right? I'm out of order. We cover the matzah because the matzah was angry that it wasn't first. Or cover the bread. It wanted to be first. There was a whole argument in the Midrash about which one comes first. And they decided wine comes first, but they didn't want to make the bread unhappy, so they cover it. It's true.
I believe it.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. A good day for grape juice. And now,
There's a special blessing.
no,
No,
this is motzi. This is it.
Still
This is all
say
you
the
got.
regular Okay, good.
This is it.
Hamotzi lechem min haaretz.
We give thanks to God for bread.
Our voices rise in song together as our joyful prayer is said. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. B'te'avon.
Can't really say that's good, but it's sustenance. Shabbat shalom, everybody. Have a
Shabbat
great
shalom.
week. Join us for a little bit of nosh.